to true crime with strategic eyes.
Strategic back again. So my feed started blowing up with updates on this Jacqueline Mimi Garcia, Mimi Torres Garcia situation. And people started emailing me like, yo, strategic, some new body worn camera was released. Then my feed started blowing up with Law and Crime. I checked them out, but they were adding their commentary. So I looked and I finally was able to find a clean version of the body worn camera footage. Now, what are we going to see, guys? Very, very sad. So first of all, let me stop being a savage. Good morning. Welcome to True Crime with Strategic. I miss you guys. I'm happy to be here, share my time with you. I'm always honored and humbled that you're sharing your time with me. All right. So how about we say some salutations first before we get started? I'm just like jumping right into it. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you for joining. Please make sure you hit that like button, by the way, and supporting the channel. Let me go ahead and just silence this phone. Otherwise, it's going to be jingling the entire time we're on this live. Okay. So what are we going to see here today? We're going to see police responding to a domestic violence incident at the Farmington, Connecticut home that Karla Garcia and Jonatan Nanita stayed at. Meanwhile, while the police are there responding to this, there's no shade on the cops. They had no way of knowing what was going on. No shade on them. But while they're responding and they're trying to figure out what's going on with this DV call, Jacqueline's in the basement rotting in a bin. Jacqueline's in the basement rotting in a bin while the police are just steps away from her. Now, no shade on the cops. They have no way of knowing that. I'm just trying to paint that picture for you. That the police was called multiple times. There'll probably be more body-worn camera footage that's going to be released as people start putting in these FOIA requests, because the police allegedly were there multiple times to address domestic violence issues at this house. This was a volatile relationship, a volatile home. And unfortunately, not only did Jacqueline have to experience this, but her siblings did as well. These parents were monsters. Jonatan Nanita is a monster. Karla Garcia is a monster. And even though this person may not have done as much as Karla and Jonatan, for some reason, my soul, my spirit makes me despise them a little bit more than everybody else. Why? Because Jacqueline was named after her. Jackelyn Garcia is a monster. The aunt who this young angel was named after, she's a monster. These kids were growing up in a very volatile environment, and it's unfortunate that Jacqueline had to lose her life for us to finally realize just the depths of the horror that these young people were forced to live in, and to finally remove them from those situations and finally give them the peace that they deserve and the space that they need to heal and hopefully be productive members of our society, and most importantly, to break the cycle that these parents were creating. It's the most important thing. Break the cycle. To those young people, if they one day see this show, because they probably will, because when you're involved in tragedies like this and trauma, you tend to look it up. You want to see what everybody has to say about that trauma. They'll watch this video 10 years from now, and this is a message to you young people, to the siblings of Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia. Break the cycle. You want revenge? You want absolution from what your parents did? Break the cycle. Break the cycle. All right, so we're going to jump into the body-worn camera. It's like 7-8 minutes long. I want to give a quick shout-out to Generic White Female with a $10 super chat. We always tell you there's nothing generic about you, Miss White Female. We appreciate your continued support of the channel. She says good morning with her $10 super chat. Good morning to you as well. We appreciate you. She was also very generous in giving one gift membership to a lucky person in the chat. So if you're that lucky person that won that one gift membership, please make sure you thank Generic White Female for her generosity. Lacey gave us a $5 super chat. Says, missed you, Strategic, and everyone, especially you and Aki. No disrespect, have older brothers. Okay, appreciate you. Thank you for missing me, but you missed me first, so that's what matters the most. You obviously miss me more than you miss Aki. So in that case, you get a yay. Yeah, you guys know we just clown Aki. We just be clowning her. We love Aki. We just clowning her. And Progressively Independent is now a welcome recruit to the family. So welcome recruit to Progressive Independent. We appreciate you. Thanks for supporting the channel. And let's jump into this. Let's do it. Make sure we got the sound. Okay. So guys, remember, for these body-worn cameras, depending on the brand and the model, the first 30 seconds to 1 minute is buffer. So I don't know how long it's going to be until we get actual audio in on this video. All right. Big shout out to Jolene Rain with a $2 super chat. Says, hi, strategic. What's happening? Hi to you as well. All right. Gonna fast forward just a tad bit because they're driving in the car. We're gonna get to the 1 minute mark. I think this is a 1 minute buffer. So he's just arrived at the residence, and we should be getting audio in 3, 2, 1. Action. There we go. Please hit the like button, guys, so we can get into the algorithm. We have over 100 people watching right now, only 50 likes. So there's 50 of you guys, 55 of you guys who are watching right now who hasn't hit the like button. Please hit the like button so we can grow this channel out. We do appreciate you. 115 Wellington. 135, excuse me, 135. 135 Wellington. Big shout out to Jolene Rain, who gave 1 gift membership. If you're that lucky person, please thank Jolene in the chat. We appreciate you, Jolene, for showing that love and gifting that membership.
Yeah.
All right, so what we see so far is good tactics. I like what I'm seeing. Knock on the door, back away from the door because you don't know what's going to come out of that door. And then the other officers stand down, looking at windows, seeing if he sees some type of movement in there. That's excellent tactics. Why? If we're all stacked up right by the door, if somebody pops out with a knife or a gun, we're going to trip over each other when we're trying to get cover. So good tactics by these officers. Let's keep going.
Is that this one though?
I don't know if that's 134 or 135. That might just be 134.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Is everything okay?
This
Yeah.
lady, she loves showing that belly, but I think she's pregnant right now, so she get a pass on this one.
Call.
Let's keep going.
There's a lot of noise coming from your apartment.
They're always called.
Okay.
Everything's good though.
Everyone's all right?
Yeah, she's pregnant.
Is anyone else home with you?
Just the babies and my boyfriend.
Okay. Is your boyfriend here?
Yeah.
Can I speak with him?
Yeah.
All right. No Gutzilla jokes in the chat, please, because she's actually pregnant, and pregnancy is beautiful, okay? So let's throw that out there. Leave her alone. Leave the murderer alone. She's pregnant.
Babe! Babe! They just want to make sure everything's okay.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm just pregnant. Just
Okay.
moods, you know.
All right.
But that's really it.
She's terrible.
Hello?
He's coming out.
Oh, okay. Mind if I come in some letting the heat out?
Huh?
You mind if I come in some letting the heat out? Hey, how's it going? Good. We just got a call.
The door's broken over there. You can tell it's broken. You know, Aki made a really good point in our little private chat. She said the way he comes out with the baby in his hands is just like Jake Harrow. She said, why do they always do that? Well, it's for optics. Everything is optics. And that's one thing we're trained to look at as detectives. We look at the optics. We know when people are purposely trying to paint a picture for us. So I don't know if this patrol officer knew that. He's not trained. Listen, you can't get everybody the same training. It costs a lot of money to train a detective. That's why we're detectives. That's why we get paid more than regular police officers, because we get specialized training. We get tons of experience dealing with the nuance and the intricacies of human nature and human behavior. So when I see, now as a detective, let's say I'm working overtime and they're like, yo, they're short staffed. All the detectives have to go help the patrol guys. That stuff can happen. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. There's times that I have to put a uniform on and go do overtime and help police. It's rare, but it does happen. So let's say I'm helping out because they having an issue on patrol, people are injured or sick or whatever, and I'm doing this DV run, and I'm coming there with all the knowledge that I have as strategic, the SVU investigator. When I see him coming to the door like that with that baby in the hand, knowing that the cops are there, I'm saying this guy's trying to paint me a picture. This guy's trying to sell me a story that he's just a calm, happy family man, because there's no reason for you to come to the door with a child that age knowing that the police are at the door, unless you're trying to throw me off and say, hey, nothing to see here, which is a nice family guy. Let's keep going.
Loud noises and stuff like that. Everyone's okay?
Yeah, my wife's pregnant, so she just be having mood swings. Okay. I be trying to calm her down.
And then you know what? The first thing he does is what abusers normally do. They blame the victim. Oh, she's got hormones. I'm always just trying to calm her down. And, she's just losing her mind. Like, no, pregnancy doesn't make you do that. Pregnancy does not make you some crazy person that can't control themselves and you're screaming at anybody. That's not at least the experience I had in pregnancy. When I dealt with pregnancy with my wife with three beautiful kids, that wasn't the case. Now, listen, maybe that's anecdotal. That's just her. You guys tell me in the chat. Did you guys turn into raving lunatics when you became pregnant? I don't know. You tell me. But that's what the abusers always do. They always do that. Oh, it's her fault. Look, she's so unreasonable. She's a savage. I have to be the one to keep her in check. It's a red flag if you're trained enough to see those red flags.
Okay. Things happen.
I'm at the end, so
Okay.
it's difficult.
All right. Well, I haven't met you guys real quick. I'm just going to write your names down, say I spoke with you, and get out of here, okay?
Okay.
All right, so this is my problem I have here, right? So they got a call from a neighbor that they were screaming. It does not appear, because we saw his body on camera, we saw him driving in the car. Why wouldn't you go to the neighbor first? Or why wouldn't you do what we call as a callback? Now, I'm not ragging on this cop as though they were supposed to discover Jacqueline in the basement. I'm not saying that. That would be totally and grossly unfair. What I'm saying is you got a domestic violence run, right? All of these people have criminal records. Did he run them? Did he find out who they were? Maybe he's going to do that later. I don't know. Number two, when you get a call, this is 2024. This is the 21st century, I believe. Whatever century we're in. You do what's called a callback. You call the person who made the callback. Even if they say they want to remain anonymous, yeah, well, you're anonymous in that I'm not going to tell the person that you called 911 on that you called them. I'm calling you back. You know how many times I called her? Well, I wanted to be anonymous. There's no such thing as anonymous. I need information. I told them straight up, you're telling me somebody has a gun? I need information so that when I approach this safely so I can make it home to my family. Where's the gun? Where did they go? Tell me the information that you have. They're supposed to call that person back and say, listen, what do you mean you heard noises and screaming? What did you hear? What did it sound like? That's what you're supposed to do. It doesn't appear that he did that. So now he's coming into the situation with very low information. And he's like, oh, I'll just write a report and leave. I didn't see like much. He didn't separate them and ask her like, hey, what's going on? Separate Jonathan and say, what's going on? He's talking to them together. This is terrible, terrible policing when it comes to domestic violence. Terrible. Literally terrible. Like if something in an imaginary world, if Jacqueline never was hurt or anything like that, but Karla ended up getting hurt from Jonathan and she survived. She'd be entitled to a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against this Farmington Police Department because they defied all norms when it comes to dealing with a domestic violence run. Let's keep going.
Say hi, baby.
Everything's okay. It's okay. How old are you?
The child is a prop.
3? 2? One more? There you go.
The child is a prop, and the cop is falling for it.
Okay. What's your name?
Karla. With a K.
K.
R-L-A.
And Carla, what's your last name?
Garcia.
And your birthday, Carla.
6196.
And sir, what's your name?
Jonathan.
J-O.
Jon is what I mean. Jonatan.
And Jonathan, what's your last name?
Nanita. Nanita.
And your birthday.
9/29, 1995.
Okay. How long you guys been staying here?
Almost a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't even run them.
Yeah.
He did not even run them. I do not believe they have the integrated technology that my department has where we could run them from our phones. These type of departments, you got to run people through dispatch. I didn't see him run them yet. You don't even know if the people you have contact with have open warrants. Like, this is how we actually catch people with warrants. Somebody call the cops, maybe they did something wrong, maybe they make a left turn on a right turn, whatever it may be, and then you run them, and now you just caught somebody who's a fugitive. What did he do? I don't know.
Sometimes the walls are, you live in apartments, walls are
Yeah, we
thin
always get
sometimes.
complaints. They've been big complaints since we first moved here, so.
Okay, so it's not the
We're
first.
planning on moving.
Okay.
We're actually moving.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because of that.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, sometimes with apartments, you really can't choose your neighbors, right? So if someone is living one way, someone lives another way, and sometimes it just clashes. So just give me a minute, okay?
All right.
Just hang on real quick.
And there's two of them there. Two of them. Not one of them stepped up like, yo, maybe we should do it this way.
What's your name?
Yo,
For 2 names.
all right, so it looks like he's going to run them now. Okay, cool.
You guys haven't got a problem with any neighbors or anything like that? It's just like noise.
First one, last name Garcia, comment spelling, first name.
All right, I give you some grace, bro. Thank you. I give you some grace. He's running them now. Good job. He's running them now.
That's it.
Karla, Karla, 6196. Last name Nanita, Nanita. First name Jonathan, comment spelling.
Is this your
9/29/95.
Wait, I have a son.
Son, too.
He's upstairs. He's 1. Oh, he just turned 2. I'm sorry.
Keep you guys busy.
Oh yeah.
You guys got a place you're going to?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. You really got to. Yeah.
It's better. Well, we came from the Britain. It's better over there because we don't have no complaints at all.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
All right, big shout out to Happy Hippie Homeschool. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you for supporting the channel. You're a crew member now.
Area, people are a little less likely to want to call for some noise and stuff like that.
Right.
Have a good night. We're out of here.
All right.
Thank you so much.
That's it. That's it. Okay.
I appreciate
Bye.
it.
You
Sorry.
guys have a good New Year.
Sorry.
I mean, listen, he at least ran them. I get that. That's good. I appreciate the fact that he did that because there's so many errors that they did in this case, in this the DV run, because that's what it is. It's a DV run. It's not a noise complaint. Is they're playing Tupac too loud. They're playing Backstreet Boys too loud. That's a noise complaint. A noise complaint is they're having a party over there. I hear screaming, cursing, and banging. That is a domestic violence run. They didn't even ask to see, well, how many people do you have in here? Can I see all the children? Make sure that they're okay. You have exigency in this type of case because there's a crime that's happening somewhere inside of the home. It was reported to you, and you need to be able to say, hey, listen, everything is good. You're not searching for drugs. You're not searching for guns. Of course, if you see something in plain sight, then those people are screwed. But you have a certain leeway. You have a certain massaging of their constitutional rights to make sure that everybody's okay. At the very least, you separate mommy and daddy and you do an extensive interview. You ask her specific questions. You got your body worn camera on. You make sure you say, did he hit you? Did he shove you? Did he punch you? Did he pinch you? Did he bite you? Did he call you outside of your name? No. That's called doing your due diligence. Then Jonatan Nanita come with the kid. Hey, Jonatan, can you do me a favor? Can you put the kid down? How about you put your kid in the back room? Put the kid down. Because I want to ask you some serious questions. Hey, listen, we were called here. There was reports of, you guys fighting. Lots of noise, lots of shuffling around the furniture, etc. Did you hit her? No. Did she hit you? Did she punch you? Did she kick you? Did she bite you? Do all that good stuff? Kick you? Whatever? No? Okay. That's on the record now. You did your due diligence. Do you mind if I take a look around real quick? I mean, we're being told that people heard that things were being broken and stuff like that. We want to make sure you guys are safe. I'm not searching your house. I just want to take a quick look around and make sure everything is normal. Guess what we're getting out of that? For future investigations, because we know that we needed that for future investigations. We're getting a tour of the house in the state that it was during the time that Jacqueline was in the basement in a bin, because he's walking around the house now with his body worn camera on, and we get to see if we saw toys. We get to see if we saw pictures of Jacqueline. We get to see if we saw proof that this little girl existed. As he's walking through the house to make sure that everything is normal. The pretense at that moment is to alleviate and address this alleged domestic violence case. But with everything in policing, oftentimes what you do today is going to be evidence tomorrow. And that evidence could have been used in the criminal case today, because we know that this is where she lost her life. We would have had a record of how that house looked at the time if this cop would have just take 2 minutes to actually do his job. Young man, I don't know who you are. I'm not trying to mess with your career. But right now, you suck. I hope that you get retrained and you take your job a little bit more seriously and you follow all the steps, because I know, without even seeing it with my own eyes, that Farmington most likely follows the procedures of every other law enforcement in this country, the best practices of how to actually respond to domestic violence cases. We do not respond to domestic violence cases to try to get out of there as fast as possible. You have to put the work in. You have to. I think a lot of times people don't realize how blessed they are. I am blessed to be in law enforcement. I don't have any skills beside law enforcement skills. And I make a good living that allows me to take care of my family and be comfortable in my own skin. I am blessed. So every time I get a case, I give it 1,000%. Lately, I've been getting a lot of cases with mentally ill people where these cases, they just did not happen. I never get upset that I have to get another one of those cases. Even though I love working real complicated cases with real victims, I never get upset when I have to actually do all my due diligence, all the work that goes into a case for somebody who's mentally ill and delusional and it didn't even happen. Why? Because I'm grateful to have the job that I have, and I'm also grateful to be able to prove that somebody was not a victim of SA. To me, the greatest gift I could give a victim of mine is to prove definitively that it didn't happen to them. And that happens a lot because sometimes people get super drunk and they think that something happened to them, and they're good people. They're not mentally ill. They just got really, really drunk. They think something happened to them. It didn't happen to them. And if we could prove it, great. We saved them from a lifetime of trauma. Be grateful for your job. This is a professional job. It is one of the most difficult jobs on the planet. Do the job right or go back to being a pizza man. You want health care? You want the best retirement on the planet? Microsoft won't let you retire in 20 years. All these tech bros that's making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, they can't retire in 20 years. You get a defined pension for after 20 years of service for the rest of your life. Be grateful and do the job correctly. Let's let this video finish
I'm
up.
sorry. No problem at all.
Happy holidays.
All right.
Same to you guys.
Enjoy you guys' night. All right.
You as well.
Don't worry about it. It's all good.
It's not all good, young man. It's not your fault. I'm not blaming you, but it's not all good because Jacqueline is in the basement rotting right now in a shipping container barrel. Some of them are calling it a tote. Some of them saying shipping container. Some are saying Tupperware. She's rotting in the basement right now, buddy. It's not all good.
Take care.
Hey, Juan.
Do the job right, man. Do the job right. Unbelievable. So many missed opportunities there. I'm not even saying missed opportunities to find Karla. This is not that officer's fault that Karla was not, that Jacqueline was not discovered then. It's not his fault. But there's so many missed opportunities that we had just now in at least getting to the bottom of who these people are and, oh, that's a different browser. That's why I won't let me add the tab. And getting a tour of the house, possibly discovering, who knows, you separate them. Maybe she would have confessed there, like, yo, this guy's abusing, because that's her story. Karla's story is that she's an abused woman. That's her story. That is her defense. Her defense is, I was being abused by him. That's her defense. Maybe she really does feel that way, and if he had separated her and talked to her on the side, maybe she would admit it to it. I don't know. Let's keep going. So what is this 4-minute one? The video recorded December 20 shows two. I think we have two. If this is like two different views, let's see. This is, let's give it a whirl.
Thursday Night Football. It's on Prime.
All right. Okay, yeah. This is the second body one. Okay, we're going to watch this one too. This is from the other officer's perspective. And then we'll call it a day. It'll be a short live, guys. I'm trying to catch up on this show. This movie called The Witch. It's a Korean action movie with like kids that have like superpowers and very, very filled with a lot of fighting and all that stuff. I want to watch that before I go to work. So after this, we will end the live. We got a lot of shows coming up for you guys. A lot of stuff to cover. And just hang in there and support the channel. So we ask. We appreciate you. We definitely appreciate you. All right, so we're about to get audio in 10 seconds. Three, two, one. Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Good.
Everything okay?
Yeah.
We had a call.
There's a lot of noise coming from your apartment.
They're always calling.
Belly! Belly!
Anyone else home with you?
Just the babies in my
Look at them ham hocks. Come on. Video will play after ad. You know what? This is what I'm going to do for you guys. My apologies. I will put this into the Brave browser, and then we won't have to deal with any advertisements. How about that? Paste and go. Perfect. Thank you, Brave browser. You are amazing. All right. And let's fast forward to the 1 minute mark.
All right, here we go.
And listen, I'm joking around. We don't fat shame here. That's diabolical. But I hate her. I'm not going to lie. I think there's always an exception when you're a monster. I think we could just make fun of you, period. Like, we could go beyond our norms of decorum when we're dealing with monsters. Like, I'm joking on you because you're a horrible human being, but you kill people. Like, there's no equivalency. So I will try and be nice because I don't want to insult anybody at all. It is what it is. But certainly, I don't talk like that in my regular life. This lady is a beast. She's a monster. She schmurdered, red-rummed her 12-year-old daughter. There's no coming back from that. There's no coming back from that. Let's keep going.
Good.
Everything okay?
Yeah.
We had a call.
There's a lot of noise coming from your apartment.
They're always calling.
Okay.
Everything's good though.
Then you hear, like, they always call. That means it's an ongoing problem. Like, these are the key things that you hear that like pique your ears up. I would hope to say as an officer, but I guess I can only say as an investigator, because a lot of officers that we see in these shows, they don't have those skills. Like, they're doing very basic and rudimentary policing. And a lot of the policing I see in these body cameras is not the policing that I worked with. Like it's almost like, I don't want to sound funny, but it's almost like we're working with higher quality officers than a lot of these officers from around the country. You know, I didn't see even rookies act the way, and not necessarily talking about these guys, but the rookies that I worked with when I was on patrol and out on the streets had more investigative acumen than a lot of these officers that I see around the country who are responding to these critical incidents that result in us finding out about them. So all this good work is being done and nobody knows about it. And then the ones that we do see, when it matters, it seems like these officers are falling short. Let's keep going.
Right.
Yes.
Is anyone else home with you?
Just the babies and my boyfriend.
Okay. Your boyfriend here?
Yeah.
Can I speak with him?
Babe! Babe! They just want to make sure everything's okay.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm just pregnant. Just moods, you know.
Hello?
He's coming down.
Oh, okay. Mind if I come in some Nanita?
Huh?
You mind if I come in some Nanita?
sir.
Hey, it's going. Good. We just got a call.
My bad.
And stuff like that. Everyone's okay?
Yeah, my wife's pregnant, so she just be having mood swings.
What's up, man?
I be trying to calm her down.
What's up?
Things happen.
I'm at the end, so
Okay.
it's difficult.
All right. Well, I haven't met you guys real quick. I'm just going to write your names down and say I spoke with you and get out of here, okay?
Okay. Say hi, baby.
Everything's okay. It's okay. How old are you?
Say 3.
3? 2? One more. There you go. Just want to know we're okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
15.
What's your name?
Karla. What a K.
K.
RLA.
And Carla, what's your last name?
Garcia.
And your birthday, Carla.
6196.
And sir, what's your name?
Jonathan.
J.O.
Jon is what I mean. Jonatan.
And John, what's your last name?
Nanita. Nanita.
And your birthday.
9/29, 1995.
Okay. How long you guys been staying here?
Almost a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Things are good.
Yeah.
Sometimes the walls are, you live in apartments, walls
Yeah,
are
we
thin
always live in
sometimes.
Queens.
Yeah.
They've been complaining since we first moved here, so
Okay, it's not the
We're
first.
planning on moving.
Okay.
we're actually moving.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because of that.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, sometimes with apartments, you really can't choose your neighbors, right? So if someone is living one way, someone lives another way, and sometimes it just clashes. So just give me a minute, okay?
All right.
Let's hang on with that real quick. Watch your ear. 4 2 names.
You guys have any other problems with any neighbors or anything like that? It's just like noise stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
just next door, but that's it.
Karla,
Yeah.
Karla.
You've been there for a little bit.
96.
All right, right after this is done, we're going to play just a tad bit of Law and Crime. Just want to hear some of their commentary, see what their take is on it, and then we'll call it a day.
Yeah.
Last name
Good day.
Nanita. First name Jonathan.
Shit.
Is this your only daughter? You guys got other
Oh,
kids?
sorry.
One on the way. I have a son.
Son
He's
too.
upstairs. He's 1. Oh, he just turned 2. I'm sorry.
So this is not his daughter. He has what's in her belly and a 1-year-old son. This child belongs to somebody else. I think it belongs to somebody else. So, I mean, she's just, I'm not a big fan of that, and I'm gonna tell you my bias. I just don't feel like people should be. I don't think that one person should be a conduit for so much DNA. I don't think that men should do it. I don't think that women should do it either. Like you get into a relationship, the relationship, it fails. Of course, you're entitled to move on. But when you start having 3 and 4 different baby daddies, that's a problem. In my personal morality, and who cares about my morality, right? It's my business. You live your life how you want. And I also fault the men. So it's not like I'm just placing blame on women. As a man, I would never want to be in a relationship with a woman who has 3 and 4 different baby daddies. What makes me so special? I'm going to think to myself, just like how you got those relationships could have ended, that those 3 and 4 different relationships that resulted in children could have ended. What's going to make me so special that you're going to stay with me? I don't get in relationships expecting them to be temporary. I get in relationships expecting that it would be forever. And if it doesn't last, then okay. But my expectation is that we're going to be together forever, you know? And maybe that's my own trauma because my father has like 15 kids with like 6 or 7 different baby mamas. And I don't want to be like my dad. So that's why I have one woman with 3 kids and no other kids, you know what I mean? Outside of that situation, you know? But I just think that there's something diabolical about it where you have 3 and 4 kids and none of them can say that they're full-blooded. They're going to say that they're brother and sister. This is how they're going to be raised. But they're all of them have different dads, whole different cultures behind them and upbringings. And then you have the situation sometimes where some of the fathers are more involved than others. And then you have some children that feel left out because every weekend these siblings are going, if all those fathers are participating, every weekend these kids are being broken up and they're all going to different corners of the earth. That's weird to me, but whatever. Let's keep going.
Keep you guys busy.
Oh, yeah.
You guys got a place you're going to?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Where you guys going to?
We're gonna move to New Britain.
Yeah.
Just better. Well, we came from New Britain. It's better over there because we don't have no complaints at all.
Yeah, it's a little bit different area. People are a little less likely to want to call for some noise and stuff like that. So.
Right.
Have a good night. We're out of here.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it, you know.
Sorry.
In the islands, we call her a breeder. When you're out there doing it, you're a breeder. You just getting bred like a cow. you're just getting bred. You're a breeder.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No problem at all.
Have a happy holidays.
All right.
Same to you
You
guys.
too, thanks.
Enjoy you guys' night. All right. Sorry.
Don't worry about it. It's all good. Take care.
Okay, now let's do law and crime real quick, guys, and then we'll call it a
isn't
day.
around. And she just, she was pointing all the blame on him constantly.
All right, so
Case
go ahead.
presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. We're learning some new disturbing information, as if this story couldn't get any worse, in the death of 12-year-old Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia. This young girl found earlier this month inside a tote, ditched behind an abandoned home in New Britain, Connecticut. And the new details we're getting, I'll warn you, they're worse than even we could have imagined. Right. According to newly unsealed arrest warrants just obtained by Law and Crime, police say 12-year-old Jacqueline was starved, zip-tied as punishment, and left to die inside her family's home in Farmington, Connecticut. Allegedly, it was at the hands of her mom's boyfriend, and her aunt. Jacqueline's body was then allegedly hidden for months in the basement of the home. The smell was so bad, investigators say, the adults started staying in hotels before Jacqueline's body was moved in a storage bin lined with trash bags, sheets, and even a white powder to mask the odor. Wow. Neighbors told police
they were throwing down like lime down there, man. That's crazy. Like they were throwing down like it was, like in the graveyard to mask the smell. That's crazy. That's insane. The lengths that they were going through to try and kind of mask and hide this evil deed that they did. It's insane.
They often heard arguing, screams, and banging coming from the apartment, even calling 911 on more than one occasion. One neighbor said they heard a woman threaten to, quote, break someone's neck. Another reported a scream, something heavy falling, and Karla yelling, stop. And now we're seeing what happened in one instance when officers actually showed up. Farmington police have released body camera footage from December 29th, 2024, just months after investigators believe that Jacqueline was killed.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
All right, so we're going to fast forward this real quick because we already saw this, so it doesn't make sense for us to kind of like go through that again.
Activity behind an abandoned home on East Street in New Britain. It led police to a tote sealed shut. And inside that tote were the remains of 12-year-old Jacqueline Torres Garcia. At that moment, the mystery of the missing girl that no one knew was missing became a murder investigation. Within days, police arrested 3 people: Jacqueline's mom, Karla Garcia, her mom's boyfriend, Jonatan Nanita, and her aunt, Karla's sister, Jackelyn Garcia. But the heartbreak didn't stop there. Records show that the department...
This beautiful little angel. Beautiful little angel. Beautiful little angel.
Department of Children and Families had been in and out of this family's life for years, even conducting a video check-in earlier this year. That is months after investigators said.
Now, I've heard from different news sources that it is possible to do the video check-in, but it is highly irregular, and it is not something that is taken lightly when it happens, which means that they shouldn't have done it in this case. They should not have opted for a video call instead of a face-to-face, especially after we found information, well, it was reported rather. When I say we, I'm talking about us as the public who's looking into this case. I didn't personally find it, but it's been reported that the mother told Child Protective Services that the children was at a relative's house, and they went to that house and the children weren't there. So she was already caught up in a lie, but yet they still allowed her to do this fake video call. Still allow her to do this fake video call, even though she had already lied to them as to where some of her other children were. Make it make sense. So it's not even like she had good credibility and they walked in the house and the house was clean and there's food everywhere and the kids look super happy. She's like, oh no, my oldest is staying with a relative. And they're like, oh, this is not a bad case. They have multiple cases on her. They have multiple police contacts due to domestic violence. And then when she said, when they originally went to the house, she said, oh, the kids are over here. They went over there. The kids weren't there. She had already lied to them. And yet they still allowed her to do a video call with the fake Jacqueline, which was another one of her children pretending to be Jacqueline. Make it make sense.
Say Jacqueline was already gone. So how did a little girl vanish in plain sight under the watch of a family and the system itself? What really happened inside that home in those final moments? The arrest warrant for Karla Garcia reveals a story that appears to change under police questioning, even culminating in admissions of her direct role in the alleged abuse.
Get those filters off, baby. Softening that face. We know you don't look like that. Those eyes aren't even human. Look how big her pupils are. Get those filters off your face.
And neglect that led to her.
You a monster. Own your monstrosity. Live in your monsterness. Don't be trying to soften your looks, baby. You are a beast. And it's not because of how you look. It's for the evil that radiates from your soul. That is why you are a beast.
Daughter's death. When first confronted by police, this was on October 9th, Garcia claimed her daughter was fine. According to the affidavit, quote, Garcia originally told New Britain detectives that her daughter was fine and visiting a friend. Garcia told authorities her children were supposed to be at a cousin's home on Dwight Street in New Britain. All of them. But when police visited that house, they couldn't account for one child.
Aha!
Police say that.
Yes, see? See? He just said it. She said they was at a relative's house on Dwight Street. They go there, kids are there, but not Jacqueline. Her credibility was also shot, but there was another instance where she did that again with Child Protective Services. That's when she did it with police, but she did it with Child Protective Services too. Her credibility was shot, yet they still allowed her to do that phony video call. Make it make sense.
That Garcia appeared surprised upon hearing this. According to the affidavit, quote, Garcia acted surprised, repeatedly asking, what do you mean? She said all her kids were supposed to be at Dwight Street and confirmed they were there when she left. When asked if Jacqueline could have been with a friend or dropped off elsewhere, Garcia said no. And apparently the children weren't even at the cousin's home. The detective informs Garcia that he was told her kids were actually with her sister on Kelsey Street, but Jacqueline was still missing. Garcia again acted surprised.
See what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? You see the lies, the web of lies. This was before this little girl was ever even discovered. This is months ago. This is a year ago. This stuff is happening. A year ago. And nobody cares. Nobody says, produce the child now. Nobody does that. Now, AI MedSpa says that there's 70 Connecticut DCF cases in backlog since 2021 during the pandemic, just like this case. I hear you. I appreciate you giving us that statistic. But this, what I'm about to say is not to you, it's to DCF. I can't come to work and tell the victims who report to me that I'm busy and I'll get back to their SA case when I get a chance. Shame on Connecticut if they're not giving their DCF workers the resources that they need and the staffing that they need to stay on top of their caseload. But we're all professionals, ladies and gentlemen. And even if you can't do a complete workup on a case, the least you could do is make sure that the victim is alive. One sec. The least they could do is at least make sure that they're alive. Just go knock on the door. That's it. My work takes me, I have to travel very far in between cases and deal with traffic and all the other stuff that makes, when I go out in the field to work 2 or 3 cases, sometimes it takes me 8 hours. But that's what I got to do. I got to go from point A to point B to point C, and I got to make it work. And sometimes I don't have no time to unwind at the desk. It's nonstop. But guess what? The work demands it. The work matters. The victims don't want to hear strategic say, hey, guys. Shoot, they don't even want to hear me say I'm on vacation. That's why I got to turn off my phone. They don't even want to hear I'm on vacation. Oh, I'm happy you're enjoying your vacation, strategic, but by the way, I got raped. And my rapist is still out there. What are you going to do about it? Now, I understand that's how they feel. That's not healthy. It's not healthy for them, and it's not healthy for me because I have to have time to myself. Otherwise, what good am I if I'm stressed out? So I turn off my phone. But the bottom line is the work is important. The work is serious. So when you're there, you do the job. You do the job. So those DCF people have to find a way. 70 cases does not sound like a lot to me. 70 cases with how many employees? At the very least, go see that those kids are alive because probably 80% of those 70 cases aren't even real cases. They're just retaliation, baby mama, baby daddy going through custody battle, and somebody makes an erroneous report. Some nosy neighbor saw something that wasn't that serious and they reported it. At least go make sure that these kids are alive. They could not even make sure that Jacqueline was alive. They totally failed her.
It was at that point that the detective introduced the discovery of the tote, along with the fact that no one had seen Jacqueline at that point in over a year. Garcia's story then began to shift. Police say she first denied knowing anything about the tote, but then pointed the finger at her ex-boyfriend, Jonatan Nanita. This is according to the affidavit, quote, when Detective Mordasiewicz asked what happened, Garcia initially denied knowing, but then said...
So I guess he cut off his locks because he had such beautiful locks. His hair looked better than Karla's hair. I guess he cut off his locks. He's trying to change his appearance when he was on a run.
It had been Jonatan Nanita. She said she had been afraid to tell the police because she feared Nanita would kill her or her children. She claimed the last time she saw Jacqueline was 8 months earlier in their Farmington home. So that would have been around February of this year. She alleged that Nanita did not like Jacqueline because she was making Garcia depressed and that Jacqueline didn't like that Garcia was pregnant with another child. Then Garcia presented a detailed I
want you guys to listen to what she's about to say. This is going to break my heart. It might break your heart too. Listen to the story that this beautiful girl's mother told to defend herself against accusations of murder. Listen to how she threw her own daughter under the bus. I can say definitively after I heard this story that Karla Garcia did not love Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia. She did not love this girl. Part of the reason why she probably didn't love this girl is because she hated the father. Because the father, who's doing good, he's an ex-drug dealer, gun guy. He took all the profits. I'm talking on my arse right now because I don't know what he did with his money. But he took all the profits out of selling drugs to the community and destroying his community and opened legitimate businesses with them. And he had a new wife and a new girl, a new family. and his new wife has her own salon, and he has his own mechanic shop, and they got their own child, and they live in La Villa Loca. They live in La Villa Loca, and she's in the slums with a nanita. She don't got no business savvy dude who's now doing good for himself and doesn't give a darn about his daughter, Jacqueline. That probably made her mad too. He moved on and got a new family, and all she has is Nanita. Every time she looked at this beautiful girl, she did not see herself. She saw baby daddy number one. The dude she was with when she was 16 years old. The dude she thought she was going to spend the rest of her life with. The dude, for whatever reason, maybe it's her fault, maybe it's his fault, threw her away. She hated this girl because this was not her child. This was her father's child. And unfortunately, Jacqueline had to pay.
Violent account of her daughter's death that she says started when Jacqueline, the little girl, just 12 years old by the way, put hands on her, the mom. Police say she told them in October of 2024 she was arguing with Jacqueline on the stairs when, quote, Jacqueline threw her down a flight of stairs. Garcia explained that she was 6 months pregnant at the time.
This lady is like, how she looked was like she's tall. In all the videos I saw, it looked like she's tall. She looked like she's 5'9", 5'8", 5'9", 300 pounds. She's saying that Jacqueline threw her beluga. Let me not say that. Be nice, strategic. She's saying Jacqueline threw her down the stairs while she's 6 months pregnant. Let's keep going. What happened after that? Come on, Karla. Give us the story.
Garcia claimed that after Jacqueline pushed her, Nanita became enraged and attacked Jacqueline. The affidavit reads, quote, Garcia stated Jacqueline was bleeding a little and she was still...
So because Jacqueline allegedly threw this 5'8", 5'9", huge human being down the stairs, Jonatan Nanita felt like he had to defend his baby mama from this assailant who was trying to ex-nay her. So then he went after poor little Jacqueline and beat the bejesus out of her. Wow, what a story.
Moving. Garcia stated Nanita proceeded to pick up Jacqueline and throw her down the second set of stairs leading to the basement. She told police that Nanita later told her, quote, he had put Jacqueline in a bag and put S-word on her. Garcia insisted she was not involved and that she never reported it because she was afraid of Nanita. So that's one story Garcia told detectives. But then...
All right, so let's sum it up before we go to the next story. All right. Okay. A smart car somehow pushed a Mack truck off of a cliff. And because the Mack truck got pushed off to the cliff, an Apache attack helicopter then attacked the smart car. You guys get it? Makes sense? Okay, let's keep going. That was corny, but let's keep going.
October 9th, detectives conducted a follow-up interview with Garcia after receiving preliminary findings from the chief medical...
Does that make sense?
That was for me. Does that make sense?
Does that make sense?
...examiner. It turns out the autopsy didn't find any obvious signs of recent trauma, but it did note severe and prolonged malnourishment. This directly contradicts...
Right, so what the truth is that there's no violence in terms of, you know, Jacqueline doing anything to her mother. The mother tried to make it seem like Jacqueline passed away due to violence, but that's not the case. The truth of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia is no longer with us because she died a slow death. She was starved to death. Let's let that sink in. Jacqueline Mimi Torres was starved to death. She wasn't beaten to death. She wasn't tortured to death. Those things happened too, but they weren't the cause of her death. There was nothing on her body that showed that some trauma caused her to lose her life. She was literally starved to death. And the reason why that means so much to me is because that's the worst way for a person to go. And the person who let her go that way was her very own mother. Does that make sense?
Does that make sense?
Does that make sense?
Garcia's story of a violent, bloody death on the stairs. Confronted with this, police say Garcia began to change her story. She repeated the tale of being pushed down the stairs, but now claimed that when Nanita stomped on Jacqueline's head, there was, quote, no blood at this time, and that she was still moving after. She maintained that Nanita dragged Jacqueline away, and she heard what...
Okay, I got a confession to make. I got to get this off my chest. Did I screw up? What happened? Oh, there you go. I think I screwed up.
Participant who documented the...
Wait. Did I screw this up?
She was told to do so by Nanita. Garcia...
I think I want to get to where we was at.
Nanita later told her, quote, he had put Jacqueline in a bag. A detailed, violent account of her daughter's death that she says started when Jacqueline, the little girl, just 12 years old by the way, put hands on her, the mom. Police say she told them in October of 20.
All right, let's move
her,
on.
Nanita became. Nanita later told her, quote, he had put Jacqueline in a bag and put.
All right, I have to say this because you guys know how I do on True Crime Strategic. She's evil. I hate her. But I really like her eyes. There's one saving grace about you, other than your neck tattoo that make it look like you got a beard. You have very beautiful eyes, ma'am. I hope they enjoy looking at those beautiful eyes in prison for the rest of your life. Let's keep going.
S-word on her. Garcia insisted she was not involved and that she never reported it because she was afraid of Nanita. So that's one story Garcia told detectives. But then, on October 9th, detectives conducted a follow-up interview with Garcia after receiving preliminary findings from the chief medical examiner. It turns out the autopsy didn't find any obvious signs of recent trauma, but it did note severe and prolonged malnourishment. This directly contradicted Garcia's story of a violent, bloody death on the stairs. Confronted with this, police say Garcia began to change her story. She repeated the tale of being pushed down the stairs, but now claimed that when Nanita stomped on Jacqueline's head, there was, quote, no blood at this time, and that she was still moving after. She maintained that Nanita dragged Jacqueline away, and she heard what sounded like, quote, a body being thrown down a flight of stairs, and she could hear Jacqueline crying. But then, when faced with the photographic and autopsy evidence, police say Garcia's story collapsed entirely, and she began to admit that she did play a role in Jacqueline's death. According to the affidavit, when she was shown a photograph of Jacqueline restrained in zip ties and lying on pee pads, quote, she later admitted she did apply zip ties to Jacqueline on 2 occasions after she was told to do so by Nanita. Garcia also admitted that she was forced by Nanita to withhold food from Jacqueline, but her admission soon went beyond acting under the coercion of Nanita. The affidavit...
Right, so it breaks down because she keeps... This is a cycle that Karla keeps taking. Karla says, I did nothing. It was all Jonatan. Then as she gets shown evidence that it wasn't just all Jonatan, then she amends her story and says, okay, well, I did this. It's like, Jonatan. That's the bad guy. But then all the evidence is not showing Jonatan. The evidence is showing you. Basically, what I think happened is that Jonatan and Jacqueline, the auntie, just sat there and did nothing as she abused her daughter by not feeding her daughter. That's what I think happened. I think they did things like bounding her up and locking her in a room. I don't think Jonatan beat that little girl. I don't think that the auntie beat that little girl. I think everything was the mommy. I think everything was Karla. I could be wrong. I 100% could be wrong, but I think Karla's the bad guy. They're all bad guys. But the mastermind. I think Jonatan is a simpleton. I don't even think Jonatan was abusing her domestic violence. I think he's a simpleton ex-con that needed a place to live. I think she was the one who was abusive. She was the one who was screaming. She was the one who hated Jacqueline and wanted Jacqueline to pay for the sins of her father. It was her. Why wouldn't it be her? Why is Jonatan beating the crap out of Jacqueline but nobody else? Why is Jonatan starving Jacqueline and nobody else, and mommy's doing absolutely nothing about it? Why? What would be the MO? What would be the motive? She has motive. Jealousy, bitterness. That's her motive. Jealousy and bitterness. That is her motive. Anger, resentment. That baby daddy moved on and was living the life she thought she would have. She's the one who was with him all throughout his gangster drug dealing times. And the moment he changes his life and gets everything that he promised her probably, she wasn't there to receive it. He threw her to the side. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, Jacqueline is not here because Jacqueline looked like her father. Let's keep going.
It states, quote, Garcia later admitted that she and Nanita would mistreat Jacqueline together because Jacqueline was, quote, bad. She didn't listen. She didn't respect them. Garcia went on to say that Jacqueline was doing things she wasn't supposed to do, including striking.
Listen to this. Listen to what they're going to say about Jacqueline. The victim blaming is out of this world. Listen to the next sentence he's about to say.
Other kids, going into people's cars, and having 5 boyfriends.
So now she is a streetwalker. She's going into people's cars and having multiple boyfriends. Now this 12-year-old who looks innocent is a streetwalker. And that's why mommy was so mad, because she's hopping in the cars and having multiple boyfriends and doing bad things and hitting other kids. Unbelievable. If there's no capital punishment in Connecticut, which there's not, you need to start working on that legislation so that by the time she's convicted, she can get it. Karla is a monster.
Jacqueline Torres was just 12 years old, I'll remind you. Garcia then provided a new account of Jacqueline's death, one consistent with starvation, telling police, quote,
and you can tell she got that low self-esteem because every time she takes a picture, she's got a filter on. Every single time she's taking a picture, she got a filter on. Every single time. Why do you want to look contrary to how you actually look? Why won't you embrace how you truly look? Who are you trying to impress when you have a Jonatan Nanita in the house? You got a man, right? So why are you trying to impress people putting a filter on? Self-esteem issues. She's not good enough. Let's keep going.
Stopped giving Jacqueline food for about 2 weeks prior to her death. She stated that Jacqueline died sometime in her bed, but she wasn't sure exactly when. She said Nanita moved the body to the basement and the smell became unbearable, so they then stayed in hotels with friends. She admitted that when they moved from Farmington to New Britain, Nanita transported Jacqueline's body. While Karla Garcia was giving her evolving statements to police, her ex-boyfriend, Jonatan Nanita, was providing his own version of events. Unlike Garcia, who was located by police, Nanita approached New Britain investigators voluntarily while they were canvassing Tremont Street on October 8th. According to the affidavit, quote, Jonatan Nanita approached New Britain investigators and expressed that he wanted to clear his name and that he didn't do any of this. Police say Nanita admitted to moving the tote, but that he framed it as a simple favor for Garcia. He told police, quote, Garcia contacted him and asked him to dispose of the tote that was outside her apartment building near the garbage. He drove to Garcia's apartment at 24 Tremont Street in New Britain with his current girlfriend, placed the tote in his truck, and per the instructions of Garcia, he drove to a nearby cemetery to hide the tote. He even...
It's like, it never ceases to amaze me how when you're, I have friends who are in the dating market and these are professional men and they find it so hard to find a woman, even to just be friends with. Like they want relationships, they want to get married, they find it so hard in this dating market to find a woman to date. They can't even find a woman just to, in the sheets. They find it hard to just do that. But yet you got these bums out here, no education, no job, criminal records up the wazoo, no place to live, no cars, no health insurance, no nothing, and they never, ever alone. This guy, Jonatan Nanita, got a new girlfriend. A girlfriend that's willing allegedly to come with him, implicate herself possibly. Maybe she didn't know what was inside of the tote. Maybe she did. We don't know. The possibility of life in prison or 15 or 20 years as an accessory for this loser to help him move the body from one place to another place. It's insane how twisted this world is. Insane. You got to make it make sense. Somebody said something in the chat. I want to just say, Patricia Allen says 2 weeks. I call bull. I think she's talking about when Karla says that they stopped feeding her for 2 weeks. It takes a long time for a person to starve to death. That's why it's such a horrible way to go. I say 2 weeks is not bull. I say 2 weeks is the right amount of time for her body to finally say enough is enough. I haven't eaten. I'm gone. Think about that. She had to at least go 2 weeks for her to pass away. That's a long, excruciating death. Her body started eating itself. That's what happens. Your body starts literally eating itself to survive, burning fat that it should not burn to try and survive, burning muscle to survive. It's terrible, terrible way to go. If I was dictator of the world, I tell you guys all the time, I don't care how famous I may or may not get. I don't want to get too famous. Like I told you guys, 300,000-400,000 is a sweet spot. All I want is double-digit views on every show, and I'm done. I don't want to go no bigger than that. I don't want 1 million. I don't want 2 million. I want a nice, small, tight community. I don't want to be a celebrity. It's not what I'm interested in. But I tell you guys all the time, if y'all ever said, run to be dictator of the world strategic, that'll be the worst decision you ever made. Because I believe in the code of Hammurabi. For me, after going through a trial of a jury of their peers, their sentence would be the exact same thing that they did to Jacqueline. That's justice for me. Not putting you in an air-conditioned cell where you have poetry classes, knitting classes, industry. You learn how to fix engines. You learn how to be an electrician. You learn how to be a plumber. You got a TV in your cell. You get to pay a little extra money so you can get HBO and Cinemax and all that good stuff. That's not justice to me. You got a commissary where you could get creatine and work out and get buff, or you could buy shrimp and you could buy chicken and cook in your cell and all that good stuff. That's not justice for me. Justice for me is the code of Hammurabi, an eye for an eye. After being convicted by your peers, exhausting all of your appeals, the same thing you did to the victim, it's the same thing that should happen to you. Do not ever, 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 ever make me dictator of the world. You will regret it, or maybe not. Let's keep going.
Stated that Garcia helped him load the bin into his truck, painting a picture of her direct involvement, which she had denied. Police asked Nanita specifically who is in the bin, and this is what he said. Quote, he first stated that he did not know who was in the bin. Officer Korwek asked Jonatan Nanita again who was in the bin, and he shrugged and said, I haven't seen Jacqueline. Officer Korwek asked if he knew it was Jacqueline, and he nodded yes. While Garcia described a violent, bloody attack on Jacqueline, Nanita claimed that he was merely a witness to the aftermath of an unknown event and that Garcia and her sister were present and responsible. He told detectives that he walked into the Farmington home and, quote, saw blood all over the walls.
I have a feeling, and I 150% could be wrong, but I have a feeling that Jonatan might be telling the truth. The personal hatred that one must have to do to Jacqueline what was done to her, it doesn't seem like he would have the MO to do it. The people who had that personal connection to me would possibly be the mother. And the sister has a history of violence against young people. The mother has the personal vendetta and connection against the father. Nothing in Jonatan Nanita's history points toward him doing this type of crime. There's a first time for everything. I could be wrong. But if history is a window into the present or the future, it is these sisters that have the history that would make them capable of this type of crime. Somewhere in all this madness is the truth. We don't know that truth yet. We'll figure it out. But my mind's eye tells me this guy may not have been the one to take her life. Let's keep going.
Along the staircase, Jonatan Nanita stated he asked what happened and they said that they didn't know. Jonatan Nanita stated Jackelyn Garcia and 4 of the kids were upstairs in a room, but little Jacqueline Torres Garcia was missing. Jonatan Nanita stated he panicked and left the apartment without knowing what happened. He claimed he returned the next day to find the blood cleaned up and he never saw Jacqueline again, and that was that. He denied ever harming Jacqueline, and police say that he suggested during his interview that Garcia was the one who was responsible. The arrest warrant for Jacqueline Garcia reveals she was not merely a witness to the abuse for her niece, according to police, but an active participant who documented the horrific conditions and, by her own admission, watched the neglect happen. Her first interview on the evening of October 8th was conducted while police say she was severely intoxicated and that she painted a picture of a normal, happy family. But by the next day, during her second interview, she was sober, and police say she admitted that she had not seen her niece in a long.
And this is a big problem for this family. There's a lot of alcoholism and drug use. She was so drunk they couldn't even get a good statement out of her. They had to wait till she sobered up, man. It's unbelievable. These people allow these intoxicants to just destroy their lives. Big shout out to M. Rachel with a $20 super chat, says, thank you for what you do, or thanks for what you do. We appreciate you. Thank you. That's very generous of you with that $20 super chat. We appreciate that. Jolene Rain with a $2 super chat says, stay safe tonight. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Phone's been buzzing like crazy. I went from 3 cases, because I keep my cases low because I work them. I actually work my cases, so I keep them low. So I went from 3 at the beginning of the week, and now I'm up to 6. I'm up to 6. So the phones are buzzing. The phones are buzzing. Usually we'll get 1 or 2 cases a week. I got 3 already, and the work week is not over. Today's the last day of the work week for me. Big shout out to Stony Baloney Barb, who gave 1 gift membership to a lucky person. Whoever got that gift membership, make sure you thank Stony Baloney. And guys, I just got to tell you, for some strange reason, specifically when I cover this young lady, I have been getting hit by YouTube. I don't want to say the words because I don't want to help them out. The D and then an M word, which means no revenue. So for the people who are donating to the channel, we do appreciate it, because this will most likely not be able to generate any return to the channel, this show. For some reason, sometimes they'll do that with some sensitive shows. They'll flag the victim's name, and anytime somebody does a show on that victim, that happened with Madeline Soto for a while too. But every time, but I think a lot of big channels was covering that. So when you're a really big channel, you have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of viewers, and you have 1 million viewers, YouTube gives you a personal person you can talk to, and you can get things done that way. So I think those big channels complained like, hey, you guys are blacklisting Madeline Soto. This is not fair. And I think they changed their policy. This is happening with Jacqueline. Whenever I cover Jacqueline, I have not 1 show. I have 0 shows that was able to get past their moderation. So every time I do a show on this topic, rest assured, no revenue. Let's keep going. So if you're donating to the show, we thank you from the bottom of our heart, because you're helping us, because we're not getting anything from this show.
Long time. Quote, Jacqueline stated she had just found out everything yesterday, but admitted to not having seen Jacqueline in months. The interview took a turn when another detective entered the room and informed Jacqueline that her sister Karla had stated that she was present for the abuse and took the photograph of Mimi restrained in zip ties. Confronted with this, Jacqueline's defense crumbled. She began to confirm the horrific details of Mimi's life, and according to the affidavit, quote, Jacqueline Garcia confirmed that her niece, Jacqueline, was deprived of food and made to stand in the corner. She confirmed that her sister, Karla, and Karla's boyfriend, Nanita, zip-tied Jacqueline as punishment and often kept her in the corner of the room where she would defecate and urinate on herself. Jacqueline then admitted to her own active participation in the abuse, though she tried to minimize her involvement, saying, quote, she did not come up with the idea to use zip ties. Jonatan did. Jacqueline admitted to seeing her niece zip-tied.
Now, I gotta say this, like in the pictures that we see, we're seeing a very young version of Jacqueline. And I think because they didn't really have any pictures of her as she got older. But we have to keep into account that Jacqueline was 12. And, you know, I have a 13-year-old turning 14 this year, but I remember when she was 12. She's looked almost the same now. They're developing. They're starting to get confident with themselves. They're starting to want to experiment and, you know, look pretty and feel pretty. They express themselves. They want to talk. They want to, you know, tell you about yourself sometimes. I don't know about other people's 12, 13, 14-year-olds, but, you know, if I tell my son, that's not good, my daughter be like, Daddy, that's not nice. You're being mean to my little brother, da-da-da-da. Like, this was a budding young woman. So I tell you all of that to say that. Now think about this budding young woman who's about to be a teenager, who's just 6 years away from being an adult. 6 years away from being an adult. Think about how she felt, not just being starved, not just being abandoned by her own mother emotionally, but having to defecate on herself. Being zip-tied, immobilized, and being forced to defecate on herself. I say this before and I say it again because I mean it. We are too civilized. We are too civilized. I think it's acceptable for us to embrace a certain level of barbarity when we deal with monsters like Jacqueline and Jonatan. And when I say Jacqueline, I'm talking about the auntie, Jacqueline Sr. I don't know how you say it when it's a auntie getting your name, whatever. We're too civilized. And Karla, look what they did to Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia. And what they have to look forward to is air-conditioned cells, commissary with shrimp and chicken and steak, creatine, personal TVs in their cells with HBO and the NFL package. That is what they're going to look forward to for the rest of their life. If they get life in prison. Because maybe they might walk away with a 20-year sentence or 25 years. And guess what? These are young people. So they come out when they're 50. Yet Jacqueline will never see another day. Let's keep going.
On a couple of occasions, Jacqueline further stated Mimi was always in the corner of the house and that the zip ties started at the, quote, end. The affidavit also reveals chilling details about the efforts to conceal Jacqueline's death and the multiple times authorities were alerted to trouble at the home. And perhaps the most haunting moment, one that now plays like a scene out of a tragic warning, comes from the December 29th body camera footage that we showed you earlier. When officers knocked on Karla Garcia's door that winter night, they didn't know that little Jacqueline had already been gone for months. But
all right, so we're going to stop this here, guys. You guys are amazing. We're at the 1 hour and 19-minute mark. You guys know we don't like to play all of different content creators, whether they're corporate or indie like myself. We want to give you guys some wiggle room to go over to their channel and actually watch it for yourself. If I play somebody's entire video, chances are you're not going to go back over there and watch it. But if I play just enough of it to get the point across, you will go and you'll watch the rest of this because obviously this is very probative and very entertaining. So please go support Law and Crime and check the rest of this video out on your own. Guys, we had a really good time here. Please make sure you hit that like button. We have over 250 people watching this live stream right now. We could do for some more likes to support the channel. This is very, very, very tragic. If more information comes out, we will be covering it. I got a special show for you guys tomorrow. I will be talking to the victim of Darius Cruz. Darius Cruz is the man who is accused of murdering Dante Campbell. We've been covering the Dante Campbell case. We will be speaking to the cousin tomorrow. One of the victims, we're not going to say the name. We're going to respect all those boundaries that this person wants us to have because they deserve it. They are a victim and they're very strong and powerful for deciding to give us their time and to elucidate us on the case. So we do appreciate them. But we'll be look out for that notification for tomorrow. And we'll be speaking to them. If they decide to change their mind, that's fine too. I never pressure anybody to come on the show, but I think that they are very, very motivated to get their story out there and to help us understand the depth of this tragedy in the Dante Campbell case. So we look forward to having that conversation with that very powerful and strong survivor. I mean, I think at this point we could definitely say that she's a warrior. 100% she's a warrior. So guys, make sure you hit that like button on your way out the door. Support the channel. Leave something inside of the chat for the Repay crew. Make sure you say, hey, I'm from here, whatever. Just something in the chat, even if it's a thumbs up, whatever. You want to make some funny faces, throw some things down there, whatever. It's all engagement. It all helps the channel. I love you guys immensely. To everybody who showed love with super chats, we appreciate you. You guys are definitely helping the show 1,000%. Stony Baloney with a $4 super chat. We appreciate you. Thank you, Stony Baloney, for showing that love. We'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you join the membership and the Patreon. We've been dropping tons of stuff on the Patreon. We got tons of court documents on the Patreon. A lot of stuff that's popping right now that I don't want to advertise on the main show. It's just for the Patreon because I don't want to get involved in no bullcrap that's happening in these YouTube streets. But we do have some exclusive stuff that's on that Patreon right now. Go check it out, man. Go be a part of the Patreon. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. I see you on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace. Man, I got the treble on that one tonight. We're going to bring that back down. Strategic is out of here. Peace. Yeah, that's better.